Hey there, I'm Stephanie Shanti, and I'm going to show you a little kind of flow of myofascial release that I've used with my students lately, and they absolutely love it. I use it on retreat. I use it on retreat because, after a few days, everyone's got achy shoulders. Generally speaking, people have got a lot of tension in their neck and shoulders. It's quite easy to explain. It's quite easy to kind of get everyone to do it while you're doing it, to demonstrate. And it just works really well, and students absolutely love it. So for this, you'll need a ball. Myofascial release balls are different from tennis balls. It is better to have a myofascial release ball if you can get one. I use AcuPoint. And if you haven't got one, a tennis ball's fine. You might find, though, with a very shiny ball and a tennis ball, the balls are going for a nice roll around the floor, which can be entertaining for students, and obviously they're a bit cheaper, but you might want to invest in some of these if you get really into this. So first of all, I'm going to show you the anatomy of where we're rolling so that you as a teacher know what's going on, and then I'll show you how to do it. So what we're going to be doing is, here's my friend Conrad. We're going to be rolling from the back of the shoulder joint around the side of the arm to the front of the shoulder joint. So we're going to be working below the spine of the scapula. So this is the spine of the scapula. That's that bony ridge that you can feel. If you take your hand to your opposite shoulder and you start at the arm, you tuck your fingers around, you'll feel this bony ridge. And we're going to be below that bony ridge. And you're going to be rolling from that kind of level around over the top of the shoulder blade, around the outside of the arm, and then you'll be working below the collarbone. So it's a quite simple, for quite a lot of it, it's just on one level going around. But we actually first start with the rhomboids, which attach the spine to the shoulder blade. So they're kind of going across from the medial border of the shoulder blade to the spine. So most people know, they might not know specifics about rhomboids, but they know when they feel the rhomboid. It is that place where you've always got tension. When you squeeze your shoulder blades, your shoulders back, going like in a heart opener, the rhomboids are shortening, contracting to bring your shoulder blades back. And when you'll do like a kind of cat position, an angry cat, or move your arms forward or push something away from you, the shoulder blades separate. That's the rhomboids stretching. So the first action when we do the rhomboids, we're going to be going up and down. So if you think that the muscle fibers are going across, we're going up and down. So this is like what we call cross fibering in massage terms. So that's quite a nice sensation. As long as you're not on the spine, you can kind of feel where the medial border of the scapula is. It's that bony ridge. You're somewhere in between these and you're rolling up and down. And that means in terms of leaning against the wall, you're bending and straightening your legs. As the ball stays where it is, you bend and straighten your legs and you'll be sending the ball along this channel. Then we're going to slide over the top of the shoulder blade here, the back of the shoulder blade. And if I kind of pop the ball in at armpit level and I slap as far as I can get around the back, that's going to be the area that I'm on. So under the arm, I go around the back, kind of any of this area. This is the infraspinatus muscle. You're on other muscles as well, but we're targeting infraspinatus, which is one of the rotator cuff muscles. It helps to keep the head of the humerus or the top of the arm bone in its place. And there's some really delicious trigger points. This one, everyone's like, oh my God, dribbling in your yoga class. I mean, it's quite intense sometimes, but you've obviously got control of how much weight you put into the wall. When you do it by the wall, it's not your whole body weight going down like when you do it on the floor. You're just leaning in. So if it's too intense, you don't lean so much. You just have to lean just enough that the ball doesn't fall off, and enough that you feel kind of what we call a meaningful interaction with the tissues. You don't want to feel nothing, but you don't want to feel pain either. So your students have to judge that. So we can use a bit of like rolling around. So you're looking like this, rolling around. You can also kind of use a bit of backwards and forward motion. That would be pushing the ball across. So rolling to explore. You might find a point and kind of stay there and do little circles around it. Then we come to the back of the arm. We're on the posterior deltoids. Deltoids are the cuff that kind of join from this V of bone, which is the spine of the scapula and the collarbone. They're kind of joining at this V. I don't know if you can see that, the V, and kind of coming to a cuff on the arm. Most people can see where the deltoids kind of attach. It's this natural kind of dip. So all of that is deltoid, and there's a back portion, there's a middle portion, and there's a front portion. So the posterior deltoids, you're going to be rolling across from infraspinatus, you're going to roll onto posterior deltoid, and then as you roll, so here I am leaning on the wall, as you roll to the side and you're side facing, you're going to be on the middle head, or sometimes people call this the lateral deltoid. And then as you roll forward, now I'm kind of 45 degrees to the wall, I'm going to be coming to the anterior deltoid. So this is literally this portion here, the front. And there's a lot of nice triggers in the deltoids. You can have a little explore there. And we're still under this kind of level of the spine of the scapula and the clavicle or the collarbone. So then we finally end our journey kind of here. If you can see on Conrad, there's a natural dip here under the collarbone, where here this is kind of trigger point area for pec muscles. Often people have neck and shoulder tension, and they only get the back of the shoulders treated. You'll have a massage, you'll do the back, but actually a lot of times quite a lot of shoulder and neck tension is because the front of the body has become short and extremely tight. So we come around here and we bring the ball here, and we're not on breast tissue, we're above the breast tissue, we're below the clavicle, and kind of somewhere halfway between the sternum and the arm is a really delicious trigger point. So now I'm going to show you, I've shown you on Conrad, we'll keep him here in case we need to consult him, is that all right? And I'm going to attempt to show you, oops, now it's going to be difficult to see. Conrad, you need to stand up straight. He doesn't have muscles keeping him up. That's his trouble. So it might be tricky. So a lot of it will be verbal, but hopefully I'll be able to show you enough. I'm going to take you up a little bit. And so the first point we're going to do is the rhomboids. So if I take the ball and go over the top of the opposite shoulder, I'll be popping the ball. If I pop it over the shoulder, it will be somewhere probably between the spine of the scapula, the medial border of the scapula and the spine. It would be, in Conrad's terms, I would be popping it around here. So if I start there, don't fall over, I'm going to just pop it over my shoulder. So take the ball, pop it over your shoulder, like you're just popping your bag on, and I lean with my back to the wall. I bend my knees before I kind of lean into the wall. That means as I straighten my legs and bend them, I am literally ironing up and down that channel. So I hope you're doing it with me. If you're not doing it with me, grab your ball and do it with me. So if I started there with my knees bent, as I straighten my legs, the ball is being pushed down that ridge. So this is quite nice. Most of the time people are like, oh my God. It can be intense, but again, with the wall, it's up to me. If I take my feet further away from the wall and I'm pushing more of my weight back, that's going to access, a deeper massage, let's say. I can also be quite close to the wall, putting hardly any pressure, just literally knees bending and straightening. So you can have fun there. It's very easy. You're not on the bones. You can feel if I move. So the ball is on the left here. If I move to my right, I'd feel the spine of the scapula. So I know to stay kind of in that middle channel. If I move to the right, the ball will be on my spine, and I know to not do that. So I'm in the middle. And if I've popped it there with my knees bent, then when I straighten them, the ball's going down that channel, the ball's going up that channel. So that's very nice and easy. So then we kind of start our way around. So it's sometimes easier to get people to get the ball in their hand again to find infraspinatus. Infraspinatus is going to be, if I take my hand under my armpit, so with rhomboids it was over the top, this time it's under my armpit, and just literally pop the ball on the back. And then I'm going to come sort of diagonally away from the wall, and I'm going to just start rolling around. And if you have a little roll around there, at some point you're going to find that trigger point. So you can see that I'm not very close to the spine. I'm closer to the armpit really. And infraspinatus is controlling where the arm, it's pulling the arm back a little bit. So if I move my arm around a little bit, I might be able to find something there. And, this is kind of an exploration one. If you've got tension in your arms, you'll find a trigger point straight away. If not, just roll around. It's absolutely fine. And I'm still on this level behind. And I'm kind of diagonally around the wall. For rhomboids, I was like back to the wall, For infraspinatus, I am kind of diagonal. And from there, if I keep moving my shoulder back, I will start to come to anterior deltoid. So here I'm kind of on this level. I'm kind of a mirror image of here. So I'm round the corner. So I've sort of just kept creeping round. I'm on the back of my arm and I can do little circles here. And posterior deltoid. Then, if I come down, maybe you'll see me better now. It's better to do it on your feet, but I can just demonstrate. As I come around, I'm going around from posterior deltoid to the middle or lateral deltoid to the front. And because those fibers are going up and I'm cross fibering, I'm feeling a lot. And for me, it's quite pleasant. I can control that sensation and I can do a little bit of rolling here in each of those portions, have a little play, let your students explore. And then as I come forward now, I'm going to be on this bit. So let's imagine I'm doing this with a wall, and that's the anterior deltoid. I'm just on the front kind of portion of the upper arm. And then as I come around, this is what you're not going to be able to see very well, I come around and I'm now diagonally facing the wall. I don't want to be flat. I'm diagonally facing the wall and the ball is about here. And I'm going to probably feel some big triggers. Now, if there's a lot of breast tissue, that's fine. You might just have a block in front of the wall, so there's more room for the breasts. That's absolutely fine. You can still do your triggering there, rolling around. We're staying underneath the collarbone. You can also do this with your hand. A lot of myofascial release is simple self-massage. What I can do with my ball, I can also do with 3 fingers, just doing little things. That's what I would be doing in a massage anyway, but you get to control the sensations. So here I am diagonally facing the wall, just massaging those quite gnarly pec attachments. And so that is a nice little thing you can do for your students at the end of a retreat, at the end of a yoga class. They usually absolutely love it. We've done rhomboids up and down, so bending and straightening the leg. We've come across to the infraspinatus underneath the spine of the scapula. We've done some circles, we've found some triggers. We've come to posterior deltoid, the back of the arm there. We've come around, and if we keep kind of going around and around and around, we're doing a bit of cross fibering there. And then we've come to the front, underneath the collarbone, above the breast tissue, and we're looking in this little groove here, kind of halfway between the clavicle, halfway between the sternum, and the shoulder. And there's just a lot of prime real estate for massage there. And it's a really nice way of kind of getting that almost like a 360 degree kind of around the shoulder joint. I mean, obviously we haven't done above and below, and there's so much more we could do, but it's a very simple, very effective, really well loved way that you can give some myofascial release joy to your students. So I hope that was good. Stay tuned for more. Give me any suggestions of little flows that you might want to see, and let me know what you think. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.